Jumbo, fellow adventurers, time for a spiritual tune-up. This time headed back to the realm of questions pertaining to reincarnation, the hows, the whys, the wheres. Specifically, Mike, do we have multiple lives or incarnations on Earth? Isn't that part of some soul's suffering to create balance from previous lives? I thought there is always duality of light and shadow, love and suffering, to have soul evolution and balance. Great question. I think it's so valuable to ask these kind of questions because where we have questions, our power slips away from us. And we can remove that leakage, if you will, by asking the question and attracting the answer. That you ask a question, the answer is immediately in your vicinity. Just reach for it. Go within. That's what I do. That's how I know what I share. And it doesn't hurt to ask other people and then be honest. Does it resonate, that answer, or does it not? And if anything I say or anyone else says does not resonate, don't buy it. Don't go there. Continue asking. All right? All things are knowable. So this question about reincarnation is kind of fun because it hints at balance, karma, contrast, pivoting on whether or not reincarnation exists. Well, I've touched on reincarnation in a lot of the earlier 300 plus tune-ups, all of which are available right now at Facebook or Instagram TV. In a nutshell, yes, reincarnation is very real. Not quite what we think it is, because we assume it all plays out on a linear timeline. That's how we perceive it. That's not how we create it. But it's much more accurate to say that it does exist than to say it doesn't. So here we are. There is such a thing as reincarnation, past lives, present life, future lifetimes. Why? For the joy of it, to experience as much as we can possibly experience. The question about balance, no. We are not going in and out of the jungles of time and space to learn balance any more than we are to learn any one thing. It's about the joy of the adventure. We don't need to come back to find balance. We need to change our thinking to find balance. And you could say maybe coming back will give us more time to find that balance. Yes, but it's not as if reincarnation exists so that we can find balance. We came from balance. And in a sense, we'll never be out of balance except for misunderstandings. And misunderstandings are remedied by a little bit of new thinking, asking a few new questions. Karma is the implication here. You know, if I'm a really bad dude in a lifetime, do I come back for balance, for retribution, to experience the other side of things? No. Again, I talked about karma just a couple of days ago. It is a phenomenon, not a law. It sure enough happens. We see what goes around comes around, but it is not absolute by any stretch. Change your thinking, you're off the wheel. You're off the karmic wheel. Doesn't matter what the score was. It's not about score. But this question kind of implies that, you know, if you're a good one, then you come back as a bad one. If you're a bad one, you come back as a good one. If you hurt people, then you come back to be hurt. No, that's not how it works at all. We're here for the joy of it. Every single waking moment. Redemption and soaring and thriving is just a thought away. It doesn't matter where you've been. Doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter how awful your past lives were, whether you were the violator or violated. Everyone is playing out these adventures in the heart of God right now. It's all make-believe, not to take away from the beauty of it and the wow of it, but it's not reality here. It's where we learn about ourselves, our power, so that we can go on eternally in other realms unimaginable from this perspective. Contrast is one of my favorite talking points. I've hit on it a few times about a year and a half ago when I first started these tune-ups. It's a favorite talking point because with a little bit of thought, you can begin to understand that those who teach contrast, and there are some great teachers out there who speak a lot about contrast, they drop that word, and the implication and the lesson is usually by knowing what you don't like, you can then decide what you do like. And that we're always going through these things and finding out, that what we wanted wasn't really what we wanted. And hey, contrast, so now we can go on at a higher arc and learn more things for the lessons behind us. All of that is true, except it's taken to such a degree by many folks that they think every time you have a high, you've got to have a low. For every low, there's going to be a high. Well, there's always going to be another high, and it's always going to get better and better and better. But you don't have to be dragged through the mud to soar. And if things are going really great right now, that does not mean, because of contrast, that you're going down. No, this is an upward spiral that will never end. And sure, by manifesting stuff you thought you wanted and you find out you didn't want it, hey, that's a great lesson in contrast, and now you're not going to go back there and do that again, are you? But it wasn't necessary for you to stub your toe or date a frog or be unhappy so that you could one day be happy. Well, don't you have to be able to contrast happiness with unhappiness to appreciate it? No, you do not. It can be very helpful, and it can make the stubborn person see things that they were not allowing themselves to see before. But contrast, more than anything else, kind of like karma, as it's typically misunderstood, is theoretical. Just because there is a high, theoretically, if there's a high, there is a low. But you don't have to go low to get high. You don't have to go left to go right. You don't have to live in the southern hemisphere if one day you'd like to live in the northern hemisphere. You don't have to experience all of these things, nor did you come here to experience everything. Through the billions and trillions of incarnations of divine mind, all will be felt. But that doesn't mean you need to be dragged through the mud, or have a low to have a high, or to be unhappy to be happy, or to be unloved to love. None of that was ever true. The teachings of contrast for many went off the rails, as it did for karma, as it does for balance, as it does for these other things. Bottom line, you're here for the adventure of it, to discover, to explore, to be curious, to play around, to rise higher, to be of service, to cooperate, to be patient, to have an outrageously good time. This is what it's about, and you do not need to scuff your shins or fall on your face to do any of those things. The sky is the limit. Doesn't matter where you've been. You are set up for greatness. Your positive thoughts are 10,000 times, minimum, more powerful than your negative thoughts. You can worry all day long in doom, dank negativity, but if you have 5 minutes of feeble positivity and a few baby steps in that direction, your life will take off. That's how inclined you are to succeed. Forget balance, forget karma, forget contrast. Those are all limits in the way they're typically understood. Like, oh boy, I got to go through this now. No, you don't. Your thoughts become things. You can go there and only there. You don't have to swing around. You don't have to come back. You don't have to pay your dues. You don't have to do nothing but hold on to the vision of what you want. Explore. Follow your heart. Be curious. Play. Love. Be loved. Serve. Serve only when it's fun and good for you. Don't be selfless and serve. Be selfish and serve. Just had to throw that PS in there. All right, happy Thursday. Looking forward to Friday. May the next 24 hours be the best 24 hours of your life so far, and better and better and better will follow. Thanks for the great questions. If you got a question right now, please post it below on Facebook and or Instagram. Post on the day of a broadcast. Those are the comments that I read. I don't go back beyond 24 hours. And just another reminder, 2 weeks from today, you can become a certified infinite possibilities trainer. It's a 4-day program based on my New York Times best-selling book. Thousands and thousands and thousands have come before you. Our goal is to reach those who have not yet been reached. You can use this program, this certification, and a lot of my best content, royalty-free for life. Reaching those who have not yet been reached, you can go into the prison systems as I have done, or you can go on a stage and make big fat money like I have done. You can do it all. You have what other people need, what they're thirsty for, what they're hungry for. You have the key to the kingdom of their wildest dreams. So go forth and shine your light and be the path. Check out the link below if you want to become certified in infinite possibilities, or swipe up on Instagram to my bio. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thanks for being here. Audrey, Judy, Sheila, Kathy, all right, Dominique, and on Instagram, Ankia Photography. All right, and You Are God. Oh, well, that's a nice handle. And Jahona, thank you. Sweet Summer, glad you're here. 515. Thoughts become things. Adios, amigos. Te amo.